Hello, hello, hello. I'm finally able to say welcome to 2019. Oh my gosh. Whew. Finally able to welcome 2019 with some excitement and some enthusiasm. And hey, Ann. Oh, you hopped on quick. Hey, Glenda. Great to be back in touch with everybody. I've really missed everybody so much. Hey, Kelly. Hey, Barb. Yeah, I've really missed everybody. It's been a crazy year already. So, in some really good ways and in some ways that have let me know that things are going to get better from here. Oh, it's nice to see so many friendly faces and to see the names. Hi, Michelle, all the way from Joplin. All right. Thank you for hopping on. Hey, Marty. Oh, good. I'm glad you could make it. I'm going to try to stay up for yours, which will be really late my time, but I'll catch the replay if not. Hi. Oh, looks like we have a lot of excitement generated. I was hoping I'd have a big announcement to make, but I'll share a little bit about that whole thing too. Not tonight. Maybe tomorrow. And honestly, the announcement that we can't make yet really ties into the topic tonight. So let's go ahead and launch into it. Oh, I'm sparkling. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad. It's been so long since I felt sparkly. For those of you who don't know, I'm Mary Moss. I live in Richmond, Virginia. And I work full-time for a company that is a subcontractor for the Department of Transportation. And then in my dream life, I'm an author and speaker, writer, poet, Christian storyteller. And I do Monday Night Lives, Mary's Monday Musings. So we went to Florida for Christmas, our first time in 30 years we weren't at home. Because our daughter and son-in-law and granddaughter moved down there last summer, and we wanted to spend Christmas with them. So we came back a couple days after Christmas, and I started feeling really sick, and I got sicker and sicker, and I had this awful crud bronchitis, sinus infection, ear infection that's going around, and it laid me up. I mean, on the couch, in the bed, not able to move, 2 rounds of oral steroids, 10 days of antibiotics. It was a nightmare, no energy. And I am so grateful that the job I have, they have all of us set up to work completely remotely. So I didn't have to miss any days of work. I could work from home. And that was such a blessing, because I didn't have to use any sick time. And I was still able to be fairly productive, because I could spell myself for my job. And luckily that time of year, things are kind of winding down, so it wasn't as busy as it might have been. So all of that's a blessing. And I don't complain because A, I have excellent health insurance and I don't dare complain. B, finally everything worked and I started feeling better, although now my husband has it, and he is not even really terribly mad at me. Hey, Andrea. But he feels terrible, and I feel terrible that I gave it to him. So now he's got it. He's about a week behind me. But we're getting through. And then we had this freezing rain, and it's been a crazy 2019. Just to start off the year. But it's been crazy good in so many ways, too, because I kept finding myself in that time, in that almost 3 weeks, that I was forced to be still and quiet. I'm sorry, Barbara. Tell them I'm sorry. I know how you all feel. But in that time that I was forced to be still and to be quiet and to not have all of the distractions of getting ready for work and going to work and packing my lunch and, all of the things that are perfectly fine, but they take up hours of your day or potentially can. And they also provide distractions. Um, and I'm sorry, Jennifer. Yeah, it's awful. It's awful. But I'm not at 100%, but I'm really close, and I'm very, very grateful. Um, so I was forced. I didn't have a choice, but to reflect, Jill, exactly. And God really worked really hard in me. We had some hard conversations, not me with him, but him with me in that time. A lot of times, because the guys were working, I would be here alone for several hours during the day. And, I would stop to read or to journal, maybe hop on, a training live or something in between, like for my lunch hour or something while I was here. But God really revealed a lot of things to me, and he really called me to task. And I'm so grateful that he did, because it just demonstrates, yeah, thank you so much. I am feeling better. It just demonstrates how very much he loves me and how much he loves all of us. That even though maybe we disappoint him, and even though we don't maybe trust him or go to him when we make some decisions, that he's there and ready for us. So I don't know. I'm not going to say he's mad at me, but he's been playing some big jokes on me. Flashback a little bit to the end of last year. We started working on dream boards in one of the dream groups that I'm in on Facebook. And I was looking forward to doing that anyway, to making my dream board for 2019. And, worked really hard, prayed, and thought a lot about what my word for 2019 would be. Some of you probably know that my word is escalate. I was really excited about that word. It was a challenging word for me because I knew it was going to require a lot of energy and effort and momentum. And so I did my dream board, and gonna tell on myself, I thought I was pretty slick because I put some challenging things on my dream board. But I intentionally left some things off. Things that I shouldn't have left off, that I know I shouldn't have left off, but I did. And I had to really pray about that when I realized that I had done that. And then God kept putting those things back in my life. Opportunities for those things kept coming back to me, like, haha, you didn't think that was going on your dream board for 2019, but guess what? It's on my dream board for your life this year. And I'm going to keep putting it back there until you add it yourself. And that's it's been remarkable. It's been absolutely remarkable. And it's been a real growth experience for me. And I've reached out to a couple of friends, and I've challenged them in some other things that God has revealed about their lives to me. Because I've had all this time to sit here and commune with God and listen to him for a change, and take note and really think about and pray about what he's telling me, not just for me, but for some of the other people that I love. And I'm grateful that they have been receptive to what I said. But I think one of the reasons they can be receptive to my message for them is because I fully acknowledge that I needed to have some life spoken into me too. There's some big things that are going to happen in 2019. And only about half of them were on my dream board of my own choosing. So I'm working on updating that. I'll be sharing that, down the road along the way. This big announcement, it was the biggest one of all, and it's like just completely blown me away. God has completely cleared a path so clear and so undeniable, and has just brought an incredible group of people together. I'm not going to say it was effortless, because it wasn't, but it was obvious that God was directing all of this. He was orchestrating every bit of it. And that is so, I mean, it just takes your breath away to think about that. To think that even though I was discounting what God could do in my life, He wasn't discounting me. And that is really something to think about. So one of the things that I really wanted to share with people is that I know I can't be the only one. I know I'm not the only one who discounts myself. I had some great ideas when I started to work on my dream board, and I've really tried to figure out what happened. Some of it, I think, is that I didn't feel I was up for the task, that I was capable enough, smart enough, experienced enough, talented enough, whatever. And I'm really lucky because I have a husband and I have friends who are going, whatever, get over yourself, you know. So that's pretty lucky. I don't get any slack from most of the people that I love, and that's a good thing. And I think I started. I'm not going to say the voices were really loud, but there was the murmurings of that's going to be too hard. You worked really hard in 2018. You need to just slide along for 2019. You don't really need to do that hard stuff. There are other people out there who can do that. You don't really need to do that. Right, I am more than enough. Yes. Well, yeah, Elizabeth, I know I'm not. And that's why I was so, it was so important to me to kick this off for the year. Something that I saw today that I know was God, and I don't know where I saw it. Oh, I do. It was in one of the email subscriptions that I have. Are you ready for this, friends? 2019 is 4% over. 4% over. Does that not blow your mind? Does that not blow your mind when you stop to think about it? 4% over. That we've only got 96% of our year left. And I let 4% of it get away from me. I mean, to give myself a little credit, I was sick and on my couch. But I would have let a whole lot more of it get away if I had not allowed God to speak into me. Now, Gideon, oh yeah. If I had not allowed God to speak into me and really lean into what He was saying and really own up to it, I would have lost a whole bunch more. And the thing about that is, a lot of you who are on here tonight have the same coach that I do, and the same kind of group of people that we hang out with on social media. It's not even about me not living up to what God intends for me and to God's story for my life. It's what He wants to do with that story for the world. And that's what's wrong about that. That's where it's unacceptable to downgrade ourselves and to give ourselves a pass and to allow ourselves not to live our dream, not work on our dream. My friend Lily, I saw today, she commented on one of her posts about living in her dream. And yes, not only do we need to live in our dream, we need to live our dream. Our life needs to be our dream, God's dream for us. And it makes me really exhausted, but really excited, because I know that He can do so much more than I could ever imagine if I will just let Him. And He's proven that in the last 3 weeks. He has brought circumstances and people and a whole bunch of things together that let me know that sent me a message, that set me an example, that remind me of what he can do. The stories that I know of some of these people who are changing the world, and I should expect nothing less of myself, because God expects nothing less of me or of you or of any of us. He designed each of us to change his world for the better, and having that obligation, we just can't turn our backs. And what I thought about that is, I'm not lecturing, but a note that I made as I was thinking about this is that one of the reasons it's just crazy to fight him is that it takes so much energy to fight him. It exhausts us. If we just surrender to him and to his story for our lives, he demonstrated that, everything's not going to be a straight path. There's going to be some mountains, but he's going to be making the way straight for us instead of making us, I don't want to go buy climbing gear. I'm not going to need it if I allow him to be the pace setter and him to be the one who decides the opportunities that I take. Where I don't turn down an opportunity because I think to myself and actually say out loud, what could I possibly teach those people? They know so much more than I do. What in the world? I would fuss at somebody who said that to me about themselves. I would fuss at them so bad. But I said that out loud. And my husband's like, whatever, get over yourself. Thank goodness. Every time he does that. So, God equips us for a specific purpose in his world. And that my mission in life is to help people discover how their story interconnects with God's story for their lives. I can't do that if I'm not living that. So I'm recommitting. I'm upping my game. Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate everybody joining in and supporting me, giving me feedback. I'm gonna up my game, and I have a lot of work I need to do, and I'm really excited about it. And I have a new attitude about it, because I just feel like, I kind of feel a little bit, unstoppable. Not that I'm not going to hit roadblocks, not that I'm not going to have challenges, not that I'm going to not have failures, not that things are always going to work out, but to expect so much of myself after so many years of being, of allowing myself to be not valued by myself or by others. It's really exciting. It's really, really exciting. And so that's what I'm committing to you, that escalate is definitely going to be my word. Let me tell you the definition of it. I looked it up so I could share it with all of you. Of course, I looked it up when I came up with it, but it says, move rapidly, become or cause to become more intense or serious, strengthen and intensify. So yeah, I'm glad I've had 3 weeks of rest because it's about to get real around my house and in my life, and as I start to live my dream, live in it and to live it, and really, as like I said, as I was thinking about and having these conversations with myself, with God, with whoever, that's how we should all live our lives every day. We should be living our dream life. Not that everything is perfect and great. We should live our dream every day, or some aspect of it. I don't know how else we get up in the morning, especially on those mornings when we don't feel like it. Especially on those mornings when it's hard. I'm going to try to really live my dream every single day. And I just know that that's going to be just incredible. It's going to just be incredible. So a couple things that I wanted to, one thing I thought about as I was kind of fussing at myself, I would never allow my children to expect less of themselves than the very best. When they were born, we expected they were going to go to college, they were going to get jobs, they were going to learn valuable skills, they were going to be decent human beings. They were going to contribute something to the world, and they were going to be the absolute best version of themselves that they could be. So why would I allow myself to not live up to that same standard? Yeah, I've really been talking to myself. But just think about that. Would you tell your child, oh, take that off your dream board? That's too hard. Take that off your list of accomplishments that you're going to make that could change someone's life. I don't think you should do that. Somebody's life doesn't need to be changed so you can accomplish that. That's going to be too hard. Yeah, Joe, we do. We all want it for our kids. So when did we stop wanting that for ourselves? Why, when did we stop thinking that not only that we're worth it, but that it's almost like an obligation, we have to show our kids the way. We have to show other people the way too, who, like some of us may have wandered around and gotten off the track a little. We need to show them the way back, show them the way to get back on track and do what they're supposed to do in the world. I had a couple other, I wanted to capture all these thoughts because, So I guess my pointers for tonight is to remember that you can do hard things. You can do hard things. And why would you not try to do them? Right. You don't need to worry about putting your dream out there because God gave you the dream for the world, and it's not our responsibility how the world receives it, as long as it's being done appropriately and effectively, and as long as we're modeling living in our dream, So, yeah, it doesn't matter what other people think about our dream because it's, it just doesn't matter. We can't take a pass when we haven't, one of the things I want to talk about in detail later, my first kickoff this year was going to be, like 20 things I learned while I was on the couch or whatever. We need to stop thinking small. Our default needs to always be to yes when we have an opportunity. Even if we don't think it's in line with our dream, even if we don't think it's going to take us down the path that we plan to go, we never know. Some of the best opportunities I've had were the ones where I almost didn't go because something changed at the last minute, or I didn't think it was going to be a good investment of my time. And those were some of the very best opportunities I've had, especially in the last year. So, I'm changing my default to say yes to adventure. Say yes to every opportunity, to every network. It doesn't have to always be about me trying to sell books or me trying to get a speaking engagement. I need to be poured into too. So I need to be open to those opportunities and say yes to those opportunities when they present themselves. And like I said, I'm going to be adding some things back onto my dream board. I'll share what those are later. I definitely am going to default to escalate in 2019 and make that my my anthem for the year. Because there are a lot of things that I really do want to do. And, you know, Pat, like you said, I'm going to do them. And I'm not going to worry about what somebody's going to think about how much I know or don't know. Or, you know, if somebody's inviting me to go somewhere, there must be a reason. You know, they must feel I can add value. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to default to yes as much as I can. Because it's just not, it doesn't come naturally to me, honestly. It just doesn't come naturally to me. So I'm working on that. It's more and more natural now that I've decided that. So anyway, I mean, I could go on all night. You can tell I'm really pumped up about this. I'm super excited, super grateful that God used that time for me. Oh, I know, Barbara. Yeah, I have a lot of friends who are going to keep me accountable. I wanted to share with you, I did part of this quote a few days ago on my timeline. I'd like to just read this whole thing because it's so powerful and so meaningful, and I think kind of sums it up, and this is how I'll end tonight. Thank you all for contributing and for making this an even richer experience. I really appreciate it. So this is by Marianne Williamson, who I really love. I'll just go ahead and read it, and then I'll sign off. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us. Your staying small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. And I can't really think of a higher calling on our lives than that. So thank you for joining me for the first Mary's Monday Musing of 2019. It was great connecting with everybody. Have a great rest of the night. Have an awesome week, and I will talk to you next Monday.